space, infinite space. And everything appears in this space. I appear in this space. My voice appears in this space. Your thoughts appear in this space. Your feelings appear in this space. This planet, this solar system, this universe appears in this same space that you are, that I am. So when I say be space for whatever arises, this is what I'm talking about. And I have a beautiful practice for you to do, including this one, which is wonderful. But there's another one that you can use every time you're in a conversation with anyone, and right now as you listen to my words. I want you to, instead of listening to my words, I want you to listen to the space in between the words, in between each sentence, and in between each word. So I will leave more space. I always leave some space for you. That's how this energy is transmitted to you. It comes in the silence and stillness of the space in between words. It comes with the words too, as you'll see. But right now, instead of focusing on the words, trying to understand the meaning, focus instead on the space in between each word. The silence, stillness, space, in between each word. This is where the true communication is happening. This is where the true teaching is happening. This is where all spiritual teaching is pointing to. This space. Because the ego mind wants words, it wants thoughts, it believes it can figure things out. It believes it can even figure truth out. It can't. Truth is in this space, in between words. And if you do this, and keep doing this, you'll feel a sense of spaciousness. You'll feel truth. And you will be present to this truth, to this space, to this stillness. And it feels very, very good, doesn't it? There is no effort to be here, because this is what you are. This is truth. It takes no effort to be in truth. It takes no understanding, no figuring it out. It's simply here. It's always here. Right now, if you feel this presence, you don't have to make any effort. You made no effort to be here. You've always been here. You've been making a great effort to ignore this, to hide it from yourself, to believe that you're limited. You're not. You're infinite and eternal. But let this space tell you this. Experience it for yourself. Feel it. Be it. If you rely on my words, you'll only have another thought and belief. It cannot help you wake up. Life is always teaching you to wake up. Listen to the space between my words. Put all your attention here in this space. It feels good, doesn't it? Space. It's true. It's truth. It's coming into alignment with what you are. You may notice in all my teaching on video that there is space in between the words, in between the sentences. In media terms, we call this dead air. In television, this is a horrible thing. Oh my God, dead air. Somebody stop for a moment. What are we going to do? People are so impatient, they're not going to stand this dead air. The dead air is truth. Most people are afraid of truth. The media is afraid of truth. They don't understand it. If it comes close to them, they'll run away from it. Because truth cannot be described. There are no experts on truth. We're all experts on truth because we are truth. We are truth itself. And once we let go, once we stop making an effort and simply surrender to what we are, be this infinite space, everything is so clear. All true wisdom and knowing is here in this space. Infinite knowing, but not mental knowing. If you ask me what this knowing is, or what I know, I can only say, I don't know. There is infinite knowing, and I don't know what it is. Yeah, because the mind doesn't know. I am at the same time the wisest being that you've ever met, and at exactly the same time, the biggest fool. Because my mind is empty of thoughts. I don't believe them. I don't store them. Yet, great wisdom spontaneously comes out of my mouth. I don't have to work at it. No awakened person does. It's just here. It's the same wisdom, the same knowing. It comes in different flavors, filtered through these bodies. But it's the same knowing. It's infinite, eternal. And in this space, you will find this same thing. In this space, you will find you. You will find everything. When you're in a conversation with somebody, or you're listening to somebody speaking on television or an expert speaking, instead of listening to their words, listen to the space between their words. Practice because they don't leave much space. That's dead air. So you have to practice to even the smallest space. You need to focus on just that space in between the words. And you'll find that it's not that you're not paying attention to them. You're actually paying much deeper attention because you're being present. You can feel their inner nervousness, what's going on with them, how they're clinging to a certain truth and belief that they have, but they're not really that sure of it. And they want to convince themselves that it's true and convince other people because they're not sure themselves. Experts have a hard time. They're further from the truth than anybody. Because the truth is, I don't know. They don't know either. That's why most of the things that they predict don't come true. They're wrong so often. It's funny. But we don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You can use the mantra, I don't know, to erase these thoughts, this artificial knowing, this illusion, and come to this space of real truth. When you're in a conversation, don't tell people you're doing this. It may sound rude. You don't want to say, I'm listening to this space between your thoughts, between your words and not your words. Most people wouldn't understand that. So just listen to the space, and you'll find that people will say, you're the best listener I've ever met, because you're present with them. You're totally present. You're not waiting to add your comment or what you want to say. You're completely present for every single word, although you're just listening to the space. Listening to the space makes you present. It automatically brings you into this great presence. And most people are not used to being with anyone who's present. In their whole life, they may never have met anyone who's simply present with them, except for possibly a very young child. Unless they've had the luck to be with an awakened person, and they're not very many. So the odds are they haven't. So you be that person that's present for them. You give them this great gift of your presence by listening to the space between their words. Do that and you'll see what happens. You become much more attentive. You not only are aware of all their words, but you're aware of what's happening inside them. Why they're not being authentic. Why they don't know themselves. And what their true self is saying underneath all of it. Yeah, it's wonderful. You're giving them such a gift by being present with them. And such a gift to yourself by being present. So any conversation you have with somebody, even if it's an annoying one and one that you don't want to have with them, something that really bothers you or is terribly boring, now you have this practice, this technique. Listen to the space between their words, and a miracle will come. It doesn't matter who's speaking or what they're saying. It makes no difference. You being present is a miracle for everyone. Be space for everything that arises. And in a conversation, this is a way to do that. Listen to the space between the words, and you will be space for everything that arises. For the truth of this person, for their authentic self, no matter how deeply they're hiding it from themselves and you. It will be clear. And that is a true miracle. Because we're all this infinite space. We are all so much more than our limited thoughts will allow us to understand.